another. I would never want to be another. I would not change who I am just to fit in. I am me. I am not perfect, but I'm working on myself. Working to become the best version of myself. I am working on myself to continue to expand my own self through my own work, in my own way. I am me.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is your girl, Wanda Godsbratt of Watching Wanda's World on Wednesdays. And tonight, we have Mr. Devron Wilson with us. Mr. Devron Wilson is coming to us from with a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to talk about. He is a radio personality in New Orleans. He works for the Public Defender's Office. He also has his own media company. What is the name of the media company? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head and
It's
not
all good. It's all good, Miss Wanda. Wilson Consulting Media and Voiceovers.
and he's just a phenomenal guy. I am proud to call him a brother off of these. I met him on the TikTok streets.
Yeah, right,
We
right,
were
right.
on, if you follow me, then you saw when I had Miss Gigi on of Gigi's Beauty Lounge
Mhm.
Lab, excuse me, Gigi's Beauty Lab. And we watch her lives around 5:45 in the morning. Now, Devron does not put on makeup, but he appreciates beauty in a black woman,
Absolutely, that's right.
you know. So he is one of her moderators. So because I'm in her lives so often, then we just became friends. And then we
Mhm.
realized we had so many things in common. So we started following each other. And there blossomed a beautiful friendship. He is a radio personality on a gospel station in New Orleans, and I'm like, "Hey, God's brat, woohoo!"
Right.
So anyway, Devon, how are you this evening?
Well, first off, Miss Wanda, thank you so much for sharing your platform with me. I don't take any opportunity for granted. And so I want to say hello to Mom. Mom, I made it to the big screen. I'm on Wanda's World. But thank you so much for sharing your platform with me, Miss Wanda. It has been a great experience getting to know who you are and just you sharing your journey with me. I'm sharing my journey with you, and we have so many similarities as it relates to what we've gone through in life. And thus, we're having this conversation on this evening. And so, thank you so very much again for taking out the time to share with me today and share to the world about what it is we want to talk about tonight. And that is just dealing with what we're dealing with. And so much we're dealing with. And so we will, of course, at some point this evening get to the meat and potatoes of it. But I would be remiss to also say, if I didn't say, thank you so much to Gigi for providing the platform for you and I to actually meet her, you, and so many other wonderful babes, as she calls them, and bros, that we connect every morning. And it's like a big family. We have fun. We talk about so much, and we engage. We listen to good music, have fun, we laugh, and you and I have just connected, and it's a beautiful thing. And I thank God for allowing us to cross paths. So thank you again.
I agree with you, and that music is phenomenal. Gigi knows a little bit of
Yeah,
every genre. I have a
yeah,
little
yeah,
playlist of my
everything.
own, but Gigi got a playlist. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
she's her own DJ. I have a DJ friend
yeah, yeah.
that I also
Absolutely.
met on the TikTok streets.
There you go. There you go. And
So,
and uh huh.
so now Oh, go on. What was you about to say?
Well, I was getting ready to say also too, because of the relationship that you and I have developed from Gigi's Beauty Bar, it has also caused me to follow you, as you mentioned earlier, and also seeing the great work that you're doing with respect to Crown. And I want to send a shout out to the Queendom. Those beautiful ladies over there have actually jumped on their live a few times, and the Queen and the Duchess and the ladies, you all are doing a phenomenal job, and y'all making some noise in these TikTok streets as well. And so hats off to the Queendom. Y'all are just doing it. The Queen, she's such a wonderful, classy lady. I just love the way she handles her
Yes.
live, you know. And I'm going to be transparent moment. I had this talk with you, Ms. Wanda. I thought she was a little, rough, but I understand why the Queen got to do what the Queen got to do, because they got some
The
roaches out
queen
there.
got to
They got some roaches that try
exactly.
to come for you, but the
I have
Queen,
so much respect
yeah,
for that lady.
yeah,
Queen is
she's a
phenomenal.
wonderful person.
I'm going to tell you some stories if I haven't already told you when we get off this live, because everything ain't for
Absolutely.
everybody. But the Queen is phenomenal. It's 11 of us
Mhm.
ladies and a Duchess.
Yeah,
And the love is real that you
yeah,
see in these TikTok streets. We get on each other's
yeah,
lives. We moderate for each other,
yeah.
and we love on each other, and we support each
Mhm.
other in all
Yeah, I
endeavors.
love the support.
And speaking of which, this beautiful look
Go ahead on, show it
came
off.
from,
Yeah,
yeah, because this wasn't hard. This wasn't hard
yeah,
work.
yeah, yeah.
No, but it looks good. It looks like I worked
Yeah.
hard, and it came out of this palette right
Uh-huh.
here. The Respect the
The
Crown.
crown.
Let me pull it up closer for you.
Screenshot it,
The
y'all.
Queendom.
Screenshot it.
Yeah, yeah. Screenshot that. It came, and let me show you what she looked like. I'm sorry, yes, because I'm
Do
proud
your
of my
thing. Do your thing.
queendom.
Yeah.
Respect the
Respect
crown.
it.
If you can't work for somebody that you actually respect,
And love and matter. Yeah.
then maybe you shouldn't work
There you
for her.
go.
Look at
Yeah.
her.
Beautiful.
Look at her.
Beautiful.
That's where that palette came from.
Absolutely.
And then I want to tell you about three more products. First of all, I want to tell you about the Holy Grail setting powder.
Hmm.
First of all, look at the packaging.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah. It's beautiful.
packaging.
Beautiful. The Queen
Woo!
just knows what to do.
I got one on display on my
Uh-huh.
vanity and one I use. But then now let me. She's very refined. I ain't gonna waste all my powder, but I want y'all to see this.
Don't waste your good stuff now.
Did you see how lightly I blew and how she flew in the air? And she's
Well, here's
waterproof.
the thing too.
I done cried, sweated, and some more stuff. Makeup ain't never
Now look, Miss
moved.
Wanda, I've been on her lives before, and I know when she's gotten it in stock, it literally sells out the same day. So, like,
The same
they can't keep
day.
product in the
It's
store.
that good.
Right.
It's that good.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can see her future. She's gonna be in
Oh, yeah.
Sephora. She's going to be in Ulta. So now I want to show y'all the um the Royal Physician
Hmm.
primer. That's what you put on your face prior to putting on your actual makeup, your foundation. First, you moisturize your skin, and then you put in a primer. One, it gives it protects your skin like from the makeup. It gives a
Hmm.
covering, and two, it blurs your pores.
Wow.
So that's the primer, and that gives you this smooth. Look,
Listen,
I'm skinny.
I have I have no idea what makeup does what, but all I know is y'all always look beautiful from the end result is always beautiful.
Exactly. See, I teach while I do my
Yeah, yeah,
lives.
yeah.
See, I like people to know what they need to do.
Absolutely.
And then we have the Respect the Crown, Protect the Other Realm setting spray. Again, once you put it on, you can blotch your makeup. There's little to no transfer. And y'all know that I ain't gonna never tell you nothing just to be telling you. Y'all know that I keep it 100 stacks. Hi, Shamanda. How are you? She said, "Hey, my Queen Purple. This is my nickname from me because You rock that purple hair so
You
well.
do.
Thank
You
you,
rock it.
Amanda Panda. Hi, baby. So we're starting to get people on the live. I'm seeing we have a couple so far, and they'll join in. I know Denise will be here. So let's get into the meat of
Yes, yes,
this.
yes, yes.
Last week, I was totally transparent. I did an ugly cry on national TV. This is my national TV because I was in
Mhm.
pain consistently, extreme pain for 3 weeks. I hadn't been out the house. And then on top of it, I got a toothache. And it had led me into depression. It had led me into anxiety. And I was really in a dark place. I thank God that I have a therapist and I had an appointment that day. And I also had an appointment yesterday.
Mhm.
So I'm acknowledging that, yes, I do have a
Mhm.
therapist. Yes, I do talk to someone when life is getting to be too much because it's needed for
Mhm.
me. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
Now, Devron also suffers from pain, and I'm going to let him tell his story.
Yeah, and so it was actually mind blowing when we actually had the conversation when we talked on last Wednesday because we talked in your inbox and you was like, "Hey, bro, I have a question for you. I need to talk to you." And pretty much it was the conversation about going live on the show and just being transparent and in the raw. And you start sharing your story,
Hmm.
and I was like, I never would have imagined that you were dealing with such a thing, but then it gave me the opportunity to share my story with you. And that is, a lot of people didn't know that I just had a total hip replacement. February 26th was the date of surgery. I'm only 48. And I was in a lot of pain the last 3, 4, 5 years. You know, everybody who knows me knows I like to travel, like to go on cruises. And the pain had gotten so severe to I was walking with a literal limp. And people would, "You okay? You okay?" And that got so very aggravating because it was something I was dealing with every day.
I was going to say annoying,
I
yeah.
deal with pain every day, and to hear people say, "You okay? You okay?" And it wasn't getting any better. So at the time, I had a doctor, and this is no hate on any type of doctor. I think doctors are here, God sent, to help us throughout of all of our issues that we may face in life. But I had a Caucasian doctor who's not really familiar with the makeup of African Americans. And at the time, I was explaining to him I'm in a lot of pain, and there was no resolve. He was trying to send me to physical therapy. He was trying to give me steroid shots. He was trying to give me pills, and just nothing would work. And so it got to the
Mhm.
point, well, one of my friends was like, "Hey, listen, you pay all this money to, insurance, it's okay, find your doctor." But I didn't want to do that because I've been with this doctor for so very long. He knew all of my history, but I didn't want to have to start all over again. But the time came where I had to do it because I was in so much pain. Fast forward to last year, came across a African American female doctor who sent me to an orthopedic doctor, and that day they did some scans and saw that my hip was the hip of an 80-year-old, meaning that I had no cartilage, anything in between. It was bone on bone. And so the stuff that I was doing in the back in the day would have never worked because there was nothing to soften the blow. And I'll be honest with you, back in the day, when I started getting the pain, the thought was that you may have to get a hip replacement. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm too young for hip replacement. I'm not doing that. But the pain became so severe till I ended up doing it. And like I said, February 26th was the day that I actually did it, and it was the best thing that I've ever done in my life. I will not sit here and tell you anything differently. Was I nervous? I was fearful of the recovery time. I'll say that. I'm a person. Anybody who knows me, I'm a very independent person. I don't like anybody waiting on me hand and foot. I like to do things on my own, and so I live alone. And so it was a matter of me having to get family members to come and, bring me to the doctor and, physical therapy and cooking and all that stuff. And so that was the part that I was most concerned with, the recovery time. But to have the surgery, it was a piece of cake. I cannot lie to you. I did have some soreness. I still have some soreness. I'm still dealing with with walking, still some of the soreness in the muscle part where I was actually cut. But if I had to do it again, I definitely will. And to kind of piggyback on the start of the conversation, the whole pain part, I was more, and I think I shared this with you too, Miss Wanda. I was more embarrassed. I go to the barbershop and I'm in pain getting out the chair. So I would finagle, like I'm looking for my keys in my pocket, like I'm looking down at my keys, looking for my keys, but I really wasn't. I was trying to straighten my leg out, because I was in pain. You know what I mean? Me being a radio personality, I'm behind the microphone, so I can put on the facade, I can put on the face, I can put on the mask, and sound happy, go lucky. But then you get the call from the station manager, hey, we need you to go live at the festival. We need you to go live and do this live hit. Then I got to go out into public, and I got to stand up for very long periods of time to interview people and stuff, and I'm in severe pain. And then I think a lot of it had to do with just pride. I don't want to be the person, everybody got to, get your chair. You okay? And catering to me. So there was a lot of times that I canceled events because I was in pain.
Right.
And so the purpose of me coming on to share my story was twofold, was to share my story, because I'd never shared this with, only my close circle knew what I was going through. A lot of people don't know. And if they're watching for the very first time today, they know now that I had surgery on February 26th. Last week was my 6-week mark. I went to the doctor, got a good clean bill of health, but I have a prosthesis hip. So when I go to metal detectors, it's going to go off now. But the pain is no more. There is, of course, that the caveat is that there will be some issues in which I may have to, which I pray God it doesn't happen, but I may have to get it again in the next 10, 15 years, because it wears down as well too.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't last forever is what they're saying. So I knew all of that going into the surgery, but I pray God that I do what I need to do on my end to make it last as long as it needs to last, and that I don't have to do it again. But I had to do something to minimize the pain. And so my plot today is to, one, talk to the brothers out there, because a lot of us brothers, we don't like to go to the doctors. We like to ignore pain. We like to take an aspirin and drink water for everything and lay down. That's not the cure. And so it is okay to go to the doctor. It is okay to check on your health. It is okay to make sure that you are okay, because if you're not good, then you're no good to your wife. You're no good to your children. You're no good to your job. You're no good to your company. Whatever it is that you do, you're no good if you're not taking care of yourself. And so we as brothers, we have to change the narrative and take care of ourselves. When you hear people dropping dead of heart attacks.
Can you say that part about go to the doctor again?
Go to the doctor is vitally important, brothers. We're no good to nobody if we don't take care of ourselves. You're no good to your wife if you don't take care of yourself. If you're sickly and the wife got to take care of you, you fall terminally ill, then who are you good to? Nobody. So we've got to take care of ourselves. And my friends call me a hypochondriac, y'all, because anything I feel any uncomfortable feeling, I'm going to the doctor. It was so bad, Ms. Wanda, to one point, my insurance company, they wrote me to say, you have to know when to use your primary care physician and when to go to the ER. I was going to the ER for every little thing because I just didn't want to be at my house again. I never wanted the narrative to be, we called Dev, he wasn't at work for 3 days. We don't know where he's been at. And I'm here, I'm in my house, stroked out, and had a heart attack or dead or whatever. So I try to do the best I can to ensure that I am healthy, to make sure that I'm good, if that makes sense. And I'm seeing a lot of people my age or younger who are dropping dead. A young guy today, God rest his soul, he had an aneurysm, 36 years old. He had high blood pressure issues, never take his meds, any of that. And he passed today. And so it really just, that's my position in life, is to get our brothers to get to the doctor, get your primary care physician. And I'll be honest with you, transparent. When I was diagnosed with hypertension some years ago, I was so embarrassed because when I went to the ER, they was like, who's your primary care physician? Ms. Wanda, I could not give him a name. I didn't have a primary care physician. I can't even
Mm-hmm.
remember a name. That was so embarrassing to me because you're of age where you should at least have a doctor to talk to say this is what's going on with me. So at that moment, I
Right.
had to secure a primary care position. But from that moment on to this one, pressure is regulated. I am doing what I need to do to stay and ensure my health. And so, brothers out there, go today. Even if you have Medicaid, you can find you a doctor. Whatever your insurance history is, background is, whatever. If you've got to do Obamacare, whatever it is, get to a doctor.
I'm going to speak on something because a lot of my friends are male,
Hmm.
and I've noticed that with them, they will play around with their blood pressure
Hmm.
medication because they say it messes with their
Yes.
performance. Let me say, from a woman's
Hmm.
standpoint, we are in love with you, the
Hmm.
person, not with your member
Hmm.
below. Now, we may love it
Yeah,
too, but we really love you. So get on that medicine, take it as you need it, so that we can grow
that's right.
old and sit in our rocking chairs together and look at the kids and the
That's right.
grandkids.
Now, let me add to that, Ms. Wanda. That is very true. I will say, and now just be transparent moment. When I first started the meds, it does affect your erections. However, it's
Hmm.
only when it's becoming regulated. Once it gets in your system
Okay.
and regulates, you have no issues. The whole key to it is to take it, get it in your system, and then regulate your blood pressure. You can't take it when your head's spinning, you ate something wrong. You can't take it when you feel like you need to take it. You have to take it so it can work.
Hmm.
But from a
Right.
man's perspective, Miss Wanda, just so you know, us brothers, we want to make sure that everything is working. You don't want to be talked about in the beauty bar. I'm just making a joke. I'm not saying.
Well, I'm just gonna say this: there are other ways of pleasing, and I'm gonna leave
Yeah,
that right
there
there
is.
because I am God's
There,
bride. So I would be remiss if I
there,
didn't say
there
that.
is. There is. But that is the hesitancy for brothers why they don't like to take meds because of that. And of course, that's part of our makeup. That's part of who we are. Is it right? No. But that's just who we are. It's a mental thing for us. If you feel like you
Mhm.
can't take care of your lady, you can't take care of home, then you start thinking, okay, they're gonna go somewhere else to get it. So then all of that plays into your mind. So yeah.
I can say this: I always tell my significant other, no man in the street can turn my head. Only you can turn my
Mhm.
head from you. You
Yeah.
know, I yeah,
Yeah.
lock, stock, and key.
Right. 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 Right.
Only his actions could turn my head,
Absolutely.
not nothing no other man says, does, or
Mhm.
whatever. I'm used to that. I've been this all my life.
Right.
I've been getting attention all my life. I know how to turn it
Right. Right. Right.
away.
Right. Absolutely.
Just because it look good to you don't mean it's good
That's
for
right.
you.
You're right. You're right. You're right. But again, so you're absolutely correct in that. But brothers, I'm just a testament to say that again. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, took the meds, been taking them, and pressure is regulated. Every time I go give blood work, all of my blood work is phenomenal. And so I'm saying that to say that I'm not going to sit there and say that I don't eat bad all the time. Yes, there are those days that I could go. My friends will tell you I love me some fried food. I do, but I know I have to cut back, so I do. That's how I gained a lot of my
Right.
weight. Miss Wanda, I shared my pictures, my side by sides for you to you to show you the
Hmm.
difference in how I was back in the day and how I am
Right.
now. But again, I used to eat all kind of fatty foods, fried chicken, fried fish, and yeah, all of that. Do I love it? Yes, I love it. Do I still eat it? Yes, I still eat it. However, I eat it in moderation. So I'm
Hmm.
not on here no health guru because that's not who I am. I'm just only what works for me. But again, my position in terms for the brothers, my appeal is to the brothers, go and check on yourselves. And the thing is, and here's the thing: I've had a colonoscopy at a very young age. I did all of that. I went to a cardiologist at a very young age. I did all of that on my own because those are things that was becoming more prevalent in African American.
Prominent in the African
Yes,
American
yes,
community.
yes, yes. And you notice they were saying at one point that African American men they would start giving us colonoscopies at the age of 50. Well, that has now changed to 40 because it's becoming more common.
Right.
It's not a bad
Mm-hmm.
procedure. And I'll be
It really
It's not a bad procedure, but the sleep is wonderful. I just put it out there to you. The sleep is wonderful, but get those colonoscopies, y'all. Get your checkups. Get your primary care physician. Today is the day to start your new life, your new health journey. If you don't have those things, get those things. Put that on your bucket list to make sure that you take care of yourself. Again, you're not going to be good to anybody if you are not in a good space, health wise.
so let me ask you this,
Yeah.
Devron. Now I said admitted that I do have a
Mhm.
therapist. How did the pain affect your mental health?
I would say that it did. So let me say this. So a lot of people, well, some people know, most people don't know, but I also do some work in mental health. Okay, I know y'all say I'm a jack of all trades. I'm just Jamaican. I like to work. I like money. I like to shop and travel. All right, leave me alone. But I would say that it had some effect on some low key moments of either heightened anxiety, and then I've kind
Mm-hmm.
of fallen into some low key depression, depressive modes at some time. Sometimes, like I'll be honest with you, the day of my surgery, um, my sister dropped me off at the doctor's at the hospital, and I told her she can go. I said, because there's no need for you to sit here because I'm gonna be inserted and I'm going to sleep, and I'll be here until tomorrow. So I'll just see y'all tomorrow. So I didn't want anybody to have to stop what they were doing. But then I thought about it. I
Mm-hmm.
was getting a little it was a little sad moment. Yeah, a
And
little sad moment and anxious
yeah.
because it's like, you always hear the what ifs. And when you do your pre op, they always say this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. And then all of that stuff starts playing in your
Mm-hmm.
mind. This could happen, this could happen, this could happen,
Right.
this could happen. So, yes, that does have an effect on your mental. So, that does bring us to another conversation tying in the physical health also to the mental health. Mental health is vitally, 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 vitally important. A lot of people don't like to delve into mental health, but the reality of it is, and people may shoot me for this, everybody has some type of mental health issue. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You may
I
say, oh,
agree
no,
with
they don't.
that.
I don't have this. It may be depression. It may be anxiety. It may be impulsivity. It could be hyperactive. It could be anger issues. All of that ties into your mental health. One of the
Mm-hmm.
biggest things that I have a problem with, though, and it's prevalent in the African American community. We try to shy away from the conversation of mental health. We don't like to go to counseling. We don't like to tell people we have a therapist. We don't like to. If you remember the movie Soul Food, they kept Uncle Pete in the back room because they thought something was wrong with Uncle Pete. We all have a cousin or somebody
Right.
that we know that there is something that's not connecting. There's a chemical imbalance which is causing these issues that are being displayed. We don't want to deal. We don't want to delve in it. We don't want people to know that. We don't
Right.
want people to know we have a child that may be seeing a counselor or a therapist. It is okay.
Right.
Everybody needs somebody to talk to. Everybody needs somebody to share because we all are dealing with something. I will be the first to say I'm impulsive. I have impulsivity. Now, I have done made some impulsive moves. I'm hyperactive sometimes in my thought process. So I have to scale back.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I'm on the radio, I have to think before I process because sometimes my thoughts are all over the place. That's all part of being hyperactive.
It's like I have 1,000 pages open on a computer,
Yes.
and I frustrate E so
Hmm. Yeah.
badly, because even I can't just sit and watch a movie. I'm on my phone. I have to
Yes.
be doing something
Yes.
else. So it really doesn't pay for me us to go to a
Hmm.
movie because I'm gonna walk out at least three
Right. Right. Right.
times. I can't sit still.
Again, and that would be
So I say I think I have adult onset
yeah.
ADHD.
But here's the thing that's a true thing. That is a real thing. That you lack focusing techniques, and so there is so much.
Mhm.
There's so much work, and there is so much research out there to assist with that. So you have therapists, you have people to help you with your coping mechanisms, how to cope through those moments of depression and anxiety and being around people and being a social anxiety. You can't be around certain people and crowds and stuff. All of that is real. A
Mhm.
lot of us deal with traumatic issues.
One
Yes.
question. Did you notice that after you had your hip replacement that you hated to be in crowds more?
Okay.
Because since I've had my back surgery, I hate to be in a
Listen
crowd.
to me. That is amazing that you asked that question. You must feel a prophetess too, huh? God's prayer. I,
I've been told
I'm
that.
saying that because I just had a conversation with friends on Sunday. We have the French Quarter. We had the French Quarter Fest here in New Orleans. Big old festival out on
Hmm.
the kind of riverfront. Really nice event. They wanted to go out there, and I was like, "No, this is not a good time. I don't think I should be out there after 6 weeks. Even though I'm walking relatively fine, relatively good. People don't even know that I've had surgery. But what you're saying is I was more nervous to go out there because I didn't want to be trampled over. You know, you're moving fast, you're moving through crowds, anything could happen in those moments. And so,
Hmm.
yes, to answer your question, that is absolutely the conversation I had on Sunday. And my friend was like, "What, you got to refurbish it? Got to put their hip to work." And so they made it as a joke, which was funny. But for me, mentally, I was not ready to deal with that crowd because anything can happen.
I don't go to a lot of events in my school. As you see, I still wear my class
Uh-huh.
ring. My school and my 35th class reunion is in Jamaica later this
Uh-huh.
year. So my school is very close knit. Like we still keep in contact with each other, and there's a lot of events that they do that I shy away from because if I get the hurt and if I have a spasm, if I can't keep up, if it's somewhere we got to walk a
Mhm.
distance, if I start off and I'm trying to keep up with the gait with my cane, because I just started acknowledging that I carry a cane, although I've carried one for
Wow.
years. And sometimes I use a rollator
Mhm.
if it's really bad. And I didn't want anybody to know that I was
Mhm.
vulnerable.
I understand that.
The pictures that you saw of me the weekend when I was out with E and the ones with the cane,
Mhm.
I just started taking pictures with my cane last year. Any other time I'd have had that cane hidden behind my back with the dress flowing in front of it or off to the side somewhere, you would not have seen that
So
cane. And I've been walking with one for at least 7
So let
years.
me actually let me get to my radio. Let me switch to flip the script and get to my radio mode. Let me
Okay,
let
go
me get to
go ahead,
radio
Mr.
mode
Radio
now. Let me do the
Personality.
interviewing now. I'm just playing. So what made you decide that you wanted to actually reveal the cane?
Because it's a part of me. And if you love me, all of me, the good, bad, or indifferent. And I realized it's been a gradual process leading up to last week. The first part was revealing the
Hmm.
cane. And it was making people aware because I'm the go to
Hmm.
friend. And sometimes people get angry when the go to friend is not available. Well, they don't know that the go to friend is crawled up in a fetal position
Hmm.
crying. Nobody thinks that the go-to friend ever needs a moment to herself. Nobody thinks that the go-to friend sometimes need to fill her own
Yeah,
cup. So it was in a gradual process of showing my humanity. And I'm going to let you in on a
hmm,
secret. My Facebook page came across as a result of God telling me it's an
mm.
assignment. A lot of my family has said to me, "You put all hi
Gigi's
Gigi,
on. I can't see. Hey,
how
Gigi.
beautiful Gigi is
We've
on."
been talking about you all
A lot
evening.
of my Hi beautiful. I hope you're enjoying Savannah.
Enjoy,
But
Auntie.
my Facebook page is a
Hmm.
ministry. God told me that all I had to do, and I was heavily into the church back
Hmm.
then. But the assignment never ceased, even though I don't have a church affiliation, but I have a relationship with
Yeah,
God. And he said, all I have to do is be transparent and let people watch how I go through the storm. Be honest, be just let people see God working in, through, and for me.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So through the good, bad, and the indifferent, it's just. And sometimes, just like I said about that segment last
Hmm.
week, when I was crying, sniveling, and snot, and he put that in my spirit over a month ago. And sometimes I don't like the assignment. I'm gonna be
We
honest
never
with
do. We
you.
never do.
So sometimes I be sitting up there trying to negotiate with God. Well, God, well, can I just say this? And can I just say that?
Uh-huh.
And I told you I had a 3.5 week stretch that I was in excruciating
Yeah.
pain. I did that. I finally did it last week. I was obedient and transparent. Look at me
Hmm.
today. I'm not saying I'm not hurting, but I'm not hurting like I was, that I have to be crying on a
Right.
live. That's called
Absolutely.
obedience.
Now, do you
So I am God's brat for a reason. I wouldn't be a brat if I didn't
you a
question
brat?
it. But eventually I do what I'm
Yeah,
told.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So do you find like since last week, do you feel a sense of relief just being able to share your story with other people and just helping other people as well with your story?
To be honest, that's multidimensional.
Hmm.
And on the one hand is I'm glad that it's out because I say all my lives that I'm a chronic pain
Hmm.
sufferer. But what was dropped in my spirit was those people that identify with me because of chronic pain were seeing themselves as I'm doing something wrong or less than, because whenever I showed up, I was looking like
Hmm.
this. I wasn't in a bad chronic pain
Right.
moment. You know, I might have a spasm here or
Hmm.
there, and they're probably saying, well, that's not what my chronic pain looks like. So I had to be real and let them know, no, I just hide from y'all when I'm having those
Hmm.
days. And I've had positive feedback from my chronic pain sufferers, and they were like, wow, that's exactly what I be feeling. And so I'm glad that I helped them to see that it's okay not to be okay and to show your
Yeah.
vulnerabilities and all of that. um on the other hand, I feel raw, I feel naked, I feel vulnerable. The old street one, my girlfriend's husband used to call us prissy thugs. So the old street one, there's like, you better not try me
Right.
though, because I can still, you know, let me keep it 100
Right.
stacks.
Right.
I wasn't always this refined.
Absolutely. I get it. 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 Well, I really do appreciate our connection that you and I have shared. And you have caused me to actually see things that are out of a different scope, out of a different lens. Again, we just connected. Again, if Gigi is still on, thank you so much, Auntie. She's a beautiful spirit. And she's the reason that you and I have connected. Just us getting
Mhm.
on every morning at 5 o'clock and just shooting it, listening to music and, stomping out roaches and everything else early in the morning. And
Exactly.
because of that, you and I have connected, and we have a great connection. We've met offline and talking, and, you shared your story, and it caused me to be able to share with the world, my story. Again, I was more prideful. I didn't want to tell people I had a hip replacement at 48. And the big old question I kept getting was, you too old to be, you too young to get a hip replacement. And so I had to pull back because I was getting an attitude with everybody who told me that. I was like, what is the right age to have a
Hmm.
hip replacement? But because,
Right.
back in the day, all we thought about was older people getting hip replacements. But the reality of it is, if you need it done, you need it done. So
Get
that's
it
the message
done.
I
And
want to
and you
leave.
say you like to
Yeah.
travel. That's a lot of walking.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that put a lot of extra mileage on you,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, and that's the
That's the
reality
reality of
of
it.
it. Because when you say you like to travel, you like to
Mhm.
shop. Both of those things, you go to the mall. You go, if you don't
Absolutely.
find what you like, walk the mall, the whole mall.
Absolutely.
You didn't find what you want, you go into another
Yeah.
mall.
And so,
When you travel, it's a lot of walking. So that's what did
absolutely.
it.
And that's the message I want to send today to whomever, not just to the brothers, but to everyone. If you are in pain, if it's the knee, if it's the hip, see a doctor and see what it is that you need to do to relieve you of some of that pain. It's okay. And I just want to say that it
It's
is okay.
okay.
It is okay. A lot of times we shy away from surgeries and people are just fearful of going under the knife. People are fearful of being put under anesthesia. I have a friend now who does not want to have surgery because she's fearful of the anesthesia. This is my old age old philosophy, and I'm not a super deep, but my age old philosophy is this: is that when it's your time, it's your time, and there's nothing you can do
Amen.
about it. So
Point blank.
if you're in pain and you need to get the help that you need. Again,
Exactly.
I wasn't the big proponent of it at first, but I was in so much pain, I had to do something to get it done. And that was the best decision that I have made in my life. And if I had to do it again, I would. And so, brothers, ladies, anybody out there who is needing to, you want to talk more about what the process was like as it relates to having a hip replacement, the pre-op, what it was like, the physical therapy, what that was like, the scar, what that looks like, the procedure, how long it took, the recovery time. I'll tell you everything you need to know. Anything you need to know, hit me up. I'm an open book. I'll tell you everything you need to know to help you get through that process.
And I'll be tagging him in the lives, you guys. So he is, as he said, an
Yeah.
open book. Devron, I want to thank you from the bottom
Thank
of
you
my
so
heart for
much.
gracing my
Absolutely.
platform. I thank you for your friendship. I thank you for the support. And I thank you for your transparency, because a lot of your friends didn't even know when they see this
Mhm.
podcast, it's going to be their
Yeah.
reveal, your
Yeah.
reveal.
Absolutely.
So thank you for trusting
Absolutely.
me to reveal what you've been through. And I'm going to share something
All
with
right.
you. Your surgery date is Ma'i and his twin brother's
Really?
birthday,
Wow.
February
Absolutely.
26th.
Wow. Well, that's
I'm January 26th. He's February
so that's a date
26th.
we
So
will
I'll
always
always
remember.
remember your surgery
We'll
date.
always remember that date. And if you will, Ms. Wanda, thank you so much for allowing me to share your platform today, because I don't take it lightly. This is your platform, and you have developed and built a camaraderie of beautiful women and beautiful people who follow and support you. And so I appreciate you so, so very much for sharing your platform with me again. And I look forward to doing this again if you will actually have me. Um,
Of course. Look, anytime you want to chop it up, if it's something you want to talk
yeah.
about, let's do it.
Definitely would like to have you on my radio show. I do a weekend show just to kind of put a plug in. I do a weekend show. It's a gospel station here in New Orleans. It's called The Weekend Vibe with Devron Wilson. It's a 107.1 FM, 7:50 a.m. And there is a link to check it out online wherever you are in the world on the World Wide Web. So that's every weekend mornings, 6 to 12, Saturday and Sunday mornings. Good gospel music, news, all that fun, all that good stuff. So I definitely like to have you on and talk about respecting the crown, about the queendom. Yeah, about the
Yes.
queendom and all that good
I
stuff.
accept.
Yeah, all of that. So thank y'all
Look,
so much.
look, let me put on my crown.
It's your crown. So I appreciate you so
So with
much.
that, okay, so I accept,
Yes,
number one. Anytime, just let me know
definitely will
when.
do that.
And with that, because I'm sure both of us, because I'm feeling my toes do its dance. I have target dyskinesia too. And it's time for me to take my
I hear you.
medicine.
I hear you.
Y'all heard what I
I got
said,
you.
take my
It's your
medicine.
time. It's their
But it's
time.
no longer
There,
medicinal. Medicinal,
there
you
you
know.
go. There you go. There you go.
So I'm going to say, as you go about your day, if you see a queen and her crown has slipped to the side, fallen off, dropped to the ground, please help her straighten it back on her head. Please pick it up and place it on her head. If she doesn't have one, please loan her one of yours or help her to purchase one. But whatever you did to help that queen get that crown on her head, zip your lip. I am my sister's keeper. It is not your place to tell that woman's business. Be a safe place for your sisters. Love on one another. Stop sleeping with each other's men. I don't know why they keep coming up with me lately, but stop the pettiness. Stop all of that. Be your sister's keeper. It's so much going
Mhm.
on in the world
Yeah,
today that we don't have time to be fighting against each other under any circumstance. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Now, I don't even know where that came from, but it came and it's
it's
out.
out. It was meant to be.
So it was meant to
Yeah.
be. So with that, I'm going to say peace. And no, I didn't put on my nails. So just look at my nubs and, understand what it is. Peace. Remember, the enemy separates, we unify. Peace and blessings. I love
Love you, Miss
you.
Wanda.
Devron, stay on. And I'll see y'all later. I love y'all to life, and there's nothing you can do about it.